Start recording. Start recording na tayo. Let's start. So, it's already 11:20 p.m. So, try natin mag-build ng lab. Fortinet firewall, VRRP lab.
Configured on the both the devices, but I want a specific gateway only to be acting as active, okay, for that specific VLAN users. Then in that case I can use VRRP. VRRP basically defines a virtual IP address,
So, luma na yung lab
and
natin.
whenever DHCP server will give IP address to the LAN users, it will give the virtual IP, which
So,
is
we'll try
the
to modify na
actual
lang
IP
yung
which will be
setup
configured
natin.
on the VRRP configuration on the WAN device, okay. And the traffic will basically go from LAN towards that virtual IP gateway
Not sure
on the
what is the
router who is
configuration here.
presently master for that
Let's see.
VRRP group. Okay, so VRRP.
So, dito, we used this lab previously. So, we do have existing configuration. Possible we do have existing configuration. So, we just need to somehow modify this one. So, sa lab natin, meron tayong, we have two set of firewalls. So, technically, dito magkaibang DC siya. Dito sa previous lab ko. But, for now, let's try to build a VRRP using yung BR and DC. So, disregard yung host name, yung naming convention natin since it's not updated. Hindi siya para dito sa lab natin. But, we need to somehow test or build a lab related sa with BRRP on 40 gate firewall. So, let's start.
Basically,
so now, by the way, I'm just using the one of the YouTube videos, so maybe share ko na lang din later yung link.
Comes on a multicast IP address. Okay, the multicast IP address is 224.0.0.18 and the protocol number is 112. It neither uses TCP or UDP. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to configure the
in terms of the troubleshooting, 224
and the
224.008 224.008, and this one in VRRP standard naman. So VRRP standard, so standard protocol per sub redundancy protocol. So for VRRP, so TCP and UDP port 112.
Protocol number is 112. It neither uses TCP or UDP. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to configure the L3 gateways on this both the FortiGate firewalls for this IT department users and sales department users, and I will configure VRRP on FortiGate firewall. So what I will do, this will be in VLAN 10. These users will be in VLAN 10. All the traffic will come over here, and this router will be the VRRP master for VLAN 10 users. And for these users, this router will be the master for sales department. So let's proceed how we are going to do with the configuration. First of all, let me on the switch. I will do the basic configuration on the switch. VLAN 10. Name IT. VLAN 20. And name sales. What I'll do, interface range 0/0/1. Switch port trunk encapsulation .12. Switch port mode trunk.
For this one, so maybe we need to FortiGate. So we need to change yung IP nito. Show system interface. Port 3 na siya eh. Port 3 we do have configuration but different segments. So need ko lang to i-change. So possible pwede natin gamitin tong C3 segment na to. So text for reference /24 yung gagamitin natin. Then yung VIP router natin is 3.254. So babaguhin natin to. We need to change the existing 3.254 sa 252 and 253. 252 and 253. So initial configuration natin. Tapusin lang siguro muna natin yung initial configuration. So punta tayo sa config system interface, then edit natin yung port 3. We need to edit the port number 3. So once we edit the port number 3, we can set this one to set IP then 3.252. Pwede yung CIDR/24 then end. So show system interface. So makikita natin dito 252 na siya. So same naman dun sa kabila, same din dun sa kabila. So config sys interface, then edit port 3 tayo. Then set IP is instead na 252 gagawin natin 253/24 then end. Then sa core switch naman natin, sa switches naman natin, kailangan lang natin i-make sure na okay yung L2 natin pa. Yung L2 side natin, yung layer 2 side. So here, interface E00. So naka-up naman siya. So VLAN. Brief tayo. So nasa default VLAN pa to. So possible gawa na lang tayo ng VLAN. VLAN siguro. Ito VLAN 10. Hindi, VLAN 10 yun. So gawa na lang tayo ng panibago. May existing VLAN na pala. So for example, let's create a VLAN 88. Name VRRP firewall. So same din dun sa kabila. Name VRRP firewall. Then let's put na lang din yung configuration. So imamap ko na sila. So ET00 then ETH03 switch port mode access, then switch port mode access VLAN 88. So duplex pool, yan. So dito sineset ko na lang din as duplex full duplex, since minsan nagkaka-issue dito sa EVNG. Switch port, mode, access, VLAN. Okay, copy paste ulit. Yan, mas mabilis tayo. Yan. Show VLAN brief to verify. Yep, part na siya ng VLAN 88. So, dapat si 252 maping na niya si 253. Execute ping 252, 253, hindi pa niya maping. Show system interface. So, napalitan na naman natin. So, troubleshooting tayo, guys. Execute ping 253. So, piniping ko lang din. Ayan, napiping na niya. 252, 253. Ayan, okay na. So, okay na yung reachability natin between BR and DC firewall. So, next thing is create tayo ng siguro mamaya na ako create ng SBI. So, for now, straight na tayo sa configuration ng VRRP.
Now I will configure these users in VLAN 10. If these users will be VLAN 20.
Sa video na pinapanood natin. Pass forward naman natin. Kasi nasa L2
Port
configuration
access VLAN 10.
This lapse ako. So, pass forward natin sa part ng
Similarly, let me go into the gig. So if okay, now what I'll do, I will go into the FortiGate one.
So, pumunta siya sa FortiGate. FortiGate, ano yung FortiGate natin? 68.
I have done the configuration for the WAN. Okay, this is my WAN.
Now, okay, so dapat i-activate muna natin yung connection natin. Port 1. Mukhang wala pa tong connection si DC. Si DC. So, we should update yung we need to update yung port 1 ni DC. So, dapat nasa 1068 segment siya para accessible siya dito sa directly sa or sa local PC ko. Yan, okay na yung isa. So, hindi pa natin na fully nako-configure. So, ito babaguhin natin. So, punta tayo sa yung 206. So, ping, just to make sure lang, although hindi naman critical kung nasa bahay lang naman tayo. So, 68 to 207. So, just to make sure na unreachable yung 207 bago natin gamitin. Same din sa production nyo. Before you use a specific IP, so dapat i-make sure nyo na free or available or unusable talaga yung preferred IP nyo. So, here, we're gonna change the port 1 IP to set IP to 192.168 segment. So, this one is /2410 end. Okay, so once end, okay, automatic exit and save na siya. So, dapat dito sa FortiGate natin, 207. So, napapansin nyo, hindi ako nag-configure ng static route because no need, because we are under the same segment. So, we don't need routing here. So, later, okay. We good. 7.2 version yung ginagamit natin. It's already updated or nasa 7 series na tayo. Yung mga lumang version kasi nasa 6 point plus eh. So, ibang method dito, hindi na-expire yung license natin although nasa evaluation mode pa rin siya. So, going back to dun sa agenda natin, sa topic natin, VRRP. So, system, okay, let's see. Try to configure
And I've connected it to my home internet. So, this is my default route. As IT. I will give them name as IT. And it will just them name. I will go into interface and I will create sub interfaces.
Okay. So, we need to create sub interface for VLAN 88. So, let's create a interface.
I will give them name as IT.
So,
and it will be a sub interface. So, basically, it is a router and stick model concept when it comes to Cisco. The same concept will be over here. Port 2 will be our interface. VLAN ID will be 10. And IP address will be 10.1.1.1/24. Okay?
Kasi we already configured yung so I think no need na tayo gumawa ng
I want HTTPS, SSH, and ping. Now,
So,
here is the tricky part. Okay, so 10.1.1 is my interface IP. But I want to configure this user as a 10.1.VRRP master. Okay, so I will exclude the IP address, which is 10.1.1.3. It is basically my which will be configured. Okay, so 10.1.1.3. And
so here dito sa video, he's just trying to configure a VLAN, so more on multiple VLAN siya. Sa case ko naman, no need na ako mag-configure ng VLANs or ng sub-interfaces. I just wanna somehow simulate yung VRRP. And dito din, yung firewall din acts as a DHCP server. So kaya nire-reserve natin yung 253, 252, and 254, which is hindi dapat siya i-provide or maging list IP dun sa DHCP pool natin.
what is the default gateway? So my default gateway will be 10.1.VRRP configuration. Okay, I'll just click on. Now I will create sales.
So nag-create siya ng multiple
server and
SPI.
firewall policies. I will do the VRRP configuration. It will be more easy for you guys to understand. I will be quick, guys. Sessions. Similarly, I will create.
gumawa siya ng policy, which is no need na
Okay.
sa case natin.
Put to. Now we will do the VRRP configuration. Okay, I will go into the firewall, enter system interface, and which code I want to edit. Okay, I will go for IT, which is the sub interface. Set VRRP virtual MAC enable. I'm enabling the virtual MAC over here.
So set VRRP dash virtual Mac enable. So let's try. So here sa DC, so primary router muna tayo sa config system interface edit port 3. So let's try to edit this one and set VRRP virtual Mac. So may enable, disable, so enable tayo.
Okay, config VRRP edit 1. Okay, set VRRP group. I will give it.
So edit. So we need to edit one. So okay, we need to set config VRRP na tayo. So jump na tayo sa VRRP configuration.
It has a name. You can see number is there. Okay, you can give any number. I will give number 20. Okay.
So edit one. So to create a new entry, we created a new entry. Set VRRP group. So set ano yung mga option natin, VRRP group. So VRRP group, so it should be from 1 to 65535. So in our case, we just need to use 88 para same din siya sa bilan. So may similar siya dun sa bilan na kanila.
VRRP. Then say VRRP. Okay, what will be the VRIP? You just go over here. What we have defined in our DHCP.
So what is the VRIP, which is yung the gateway, which is C254.
Server. See, this is my default gateway. So this will be my VRRP. Set priority. My default priority is 100, but I want this for the sales users, for VLAN 10 users. I want this FortiGate firewall to be master. So I will give the priority as 150. Okay.
Set priority 150. So wait lang. Dito set yung priority. 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 So set priority 100. We set priority 100.
Set version. You can define the version. There are two versions. I will give 2. Okay.
Then set versions. Set version 2. Version 2 and 3. Version 2 din there. Okay, so one difference lang guys, yung version 3 supports yung IPv6. IPv6 authentication meron din. Okay, let's see.
And that's how you configure VRRP. Okay. Apart from that, you can by default enable preemption, but as far as my knowledge, preemption is by default enabled. But then also, I want a SLA, so I will give a virtual destination. Okay, and that's all, guys. That's all.
Enable.
Similarly, I will go for next. I can configure for another interface.
Okay, we already configure yung VRRP side natin. To verify the router VR. Is it info VRRP?
Config system interface. Edit.
Show router. In. Pag wala pa siya dito. So nandito na naman yung configuration natin. May VRRP natin. So, mukhang hindi siya nag-save dito sa kabila. So, we need to repeat yung 100. Pero dito, mukhang naka-enable na yung preempt talaga niya by default. So, hindi naman natin siya sinet dun sa config natin. Pero nakaset na siya as 1. I guess number 1 means true. True. So, i-copy paste natin dito. Pero even and. So, show VRRP tayo dito. Get router info VRRP. So, yun nakikita na natin. So, primary, yun naging backup na siya. So, nag-up na siya. And virtual MAC address natin is 001, yung end natin. So, same siya. So, dapat same siya. Right? And yung preempt natin, nag-set tayo dito ng enable. So, set pa rin siya as 1. So, meaning by default, it's already enabled.
Saves. Set virtual MAC. Edit one. So for sales users, I don't want this router to be the what I can say, the master router. Okay. So I will do the basic configuration. Set VRRP group as 20. Okay. Set VRIP as 20.1.1.3. Okay, because I've defined the same in the default gate in the DHCP server. And apart from that, other things are common guys. Okay. Set this destination apart. Yeah. Okay. This secondary router info VRRP. As okay. Now we are done with the configuration, guys. I will show you the magic now. Now if I check get router info.
So we have a test machine here. So configure tayo ng static. So set natin is 10 try natin dito is ayaw maka paste 10 10.0.3.10. Then mas natin is 255.255.250. Gateway natin is 10.03.254. Save. Then configure naman. So
As a master for the sales department users, for VLAN 20 users. Okay. So let's check this, guys. What we will do, I will on these PCs.
config so ping 10.03.254. So dapat piping natin FC ping so show harp dash a 0.0.0.0.
So that all the traffic from this user should go via this router, and all the traffic for this users, VLAN 20 users, should go from this router. Okay. I will on only one PC. I will give IP DHCP. Okay, it's there. Okay, this has also got an IP address, but it has got a virtual IP address, the virtual gateway. Now the point over here is that on which L3 device the virtual gateway is active. Okay, this is the virtual IP 10.1.1.3 with this user as well in VLAN 10, and this is the 20.1.
Try natin ping. So ngayon try natin i-disable C. So working naman siya. Check natin ulit yung VRRP status. VRRP status, backup yung isa. Then let's see. Let's try to shut down either 0 shutdown, which is facing the BR, which is the primary. So dapat, so yung primary na to. So DC, so in terms of reachability, we still have reachability 2. Tapos show harp dash A, let's perform. So so okay na Ethernet 0.0. Nag-0 na ulit siya. Well, actually okay naman. Okay. Let's think ano yung naging possible easy natin. Bakit hindi siya? Did it try to use its own MAC address? May na-specification